The East Coast Bowhunting Podcast. I'm your boy D-Rock here with
East Coast Trev.
And we are slaying it tonight as we are brought to you by
Shabbeam Brewing.
Oh, that's a good one to start with. I was going to say
The Hunter's Beer.
Okay. I was actually going to say
Gator Outdoors.
Really good one. I was thinking something different.
Wild Edge Inc.
Okay. All right. We have really good sponsorships, man, so I don't blame you. But I was still thinking of a different one.
Outright Hunting.
Damn. The Morph Pro. Shit. Is that a good arsenal on our hunt?
Tree Thrasher.
The Baby Diaper Step. You know what? It does replicate that thrash. Don't we have a promo code for that?
Yep. East Coast 15.
You're right. You're right. What other one?
Ethics Archery.
If you don't shoot ethics,
then fuck you.
And what's the promo code for that?
East Coast 10.
Damn, you're on a roll. You haven't been drinking yet, have you?
Nope.
So what's the other one?
What else do we have? Encore Targets.
Damn. You know what?
Is that the one you were thinking of?
Hey, I'm Mexican, so anything that saves me a buck will help me shoot a buck. Right?
The Hunter Sight.
Oof. You know what? That's something that goes underrated. Let's stop right there for a second. Because
So that's the one?
For this episode, yeah, I do have to say so, because it helped you get your hit lister. It helped me narrow down the Ohio buck. I mean, shit. Garrett and I started scouting in the off season during trade show season in Ohio. And the Hunter Sight helps, man. You know, you get to
algorithm?
The algorithm for your hunt. You're right. Shit. You've been doing your homework, son. I'm proud of you. You should drink less more often.
It's deer season, man. I'm in my zone. Scranton Motors and Scranton Power Sports.
Damn. Do they not help out a fuck ton?
Holy fucking shit.
Now, if we could just get a wave runner, you know, for scouting purposes, right?
Yep.
Is that a good reason or
Get
not?
across the creek.
The crick or creek? I think I said crick one episode before. The Midwest is rubbing off on me. Or they're rubbing off.
Never mind.
Yeah, never mind. Let's keep it moving. So, yeah, Meyer trail cameras, they're the shit.
Who's on your hit list?
Only Fabio's left because you already got your hit lister.
Yep.
So, what the funk is down?
Death Wish Coffee.
Fueled by Deathcast by Jeff.
I fucking love it.
The Incredible Jeff.
And them on the go now.
Dude, I didn't even tell you. The on-the-go giveaway kit has arrived in Slaya Studio. I didn't even tell you. We're doing a giveaway soon, so stay tuned to that. The only downfall to that, we had limited kits, so we might have to share one, Trev.
That's okay.
Hey, we're going to have to share deer camp.
I got plenty of them. I'll have to put in an order for some more coffee with my new ECB 10.
You need more coffee?
10. Yes.
Oh, I like that. It's not ECB 10, though.
It's East Coast 10.
There you go.
But I do need more coffee, yes. Please.
You do?
And thank you.
All right.
I'll take some K-Cups. Thank you.
Oh, you know what I need to do? I do need to order those.
Yeah.
The only reason I never did is because you told me not to. Because
it was just, I wanted it to be just easy for everyone across the board.
Well, you said you had.
But now I'm going to be
reality,
selfish.
he's lying. He's lying. The refillables, he's always selfish, number one. And the refillable K-Cups that you have is the reason why you said don't get the K-Cups.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's easy just to make it on my own, but...
This is an oldie but goodie. 100 Demons.
Whoa. East Coast hardcore music known worldwide.
Dude, what started the podcast.
That's it.
Over a year ago.
Whoop, whoop.
You know what? We might have to introduce Wade Bormann on some 100 Demons.
Maybe.
Fuck Welcome to the Jungle. I'm sorry. When I hear that, I feel like Wade Bormann hasn't shaved his pubes yet. Welcome to the Jungle. We're going to have to do a 100 Demon song. That's going to be good. We're going to do that. Nor'easter game calls, though.
Get him in close. New Evo series. And I heard today a new rumor that there might be a fall Evo series coming out.
Yeah, he's getting a little prissy, but this is going to be a collector series. And what's coming even for 2020, you and I are going to have selected few D-Rock and East Coast Trev series too.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
You know how mine's going to look.
Gold.
Hey, I know there's a lot of people out there that like the gold.
I'll take the copper.
Yeah. You are kind of a crackhead, aren't you?
Just goes along with my what rattles your antlers.
Dude, we have a lot of promo codes. We have a lot of sponsorships. I mean, this show is brought to you by Elite Archery, and we're partnered by Gator Outdoors. You listen to this show because we believe in the brands we use. You listen to the show because you use the brands we believe in. You listen to the show because we don't fake the funk. What the funk is down. Tell us about your story, Trev.
Destroyed, man.
Start it from when...
2017.
Okay, yeah. Start from there. Take it over.
So 2017, I decided to skip Thanksgiving dinner. Some of you guys actually, if you follow along on the podcast, would probably hear this story once before. So I skipped out on Thanksgiving dinner in 2017, got up into my stand, into actually the killing tree. You guys hear me talk about that. The rut was going pretty well, and I decided to do an all-day sit. So I got into stand, and about 11:30, deer was walking straight at me, head down. All I could see was the antlers. It was a nice 8-pointer. I was going to shoot him.
What were you doing in the tree, though?
I was.
That you changed up as time went on. Over the years, that is. What were you doing that day?
Hunting.
Playing on your phone?
Oh, yeah, playing on my phone. So the deer was coming straight at me, and I couldn't have a shot. So I had to wait for it to get by me and then turn. I was in some thick mountain laurels, and I took a shot at 37 yards, hit a branch, and actually deflected. Never seen that deer again until December. He ended up showing back on camera, and I got pictures of him. So that was my mission then, to shoot that deer. The following year, I didn't get him on camera at all. Nothing at all. 2018. Never showed up. I think after season, when I started doing supplement feeding again, I think he showed up on camera. I have some pictures of him, but never to be seen again during hunting season. And then this year, he showed up on camera. I made a mock scrape.
Right after our hunt in the same area, right?
Yep. I hadn't hunted up there for an entire season, and this year D-Rock had knocked down a buck in the earlier season, and I was like, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to make a mock scrape, and I'm going to deploy the Lone Wolf undercover cam. So I deployed it. The first deer to come up on camera was What the Funk. Big mature buck, probably 4.5, maybe more. I don't know yet. I got to check his jaw. But so he showed up, came into the mock scrape early morning, 5:30, showed up, messed around with the mock scrape, left for the day, came back that night about 4:30 p.m., messed around with the scrape again, and then never to be seen for 3 more weeks.
See, before we get to, because you're blowing right through the story, we
didn't get to the good part yet, that's why.
Right. I don't want to blow through the story because we need to build up. I'm drooling a little bit thinking of the story. This is a place that we hunt yearly now. It's turned into a tradition. And last year, I took down Gimme a Sixer. You know, the one with the broken antlered.
That was out of the killing tree.
Out of the killing tree, correct. This year we accessed a different way, and just something we talked about this on another episode this past year, and something was telling me to just keep on going up the mountain, and you headed towards the killing tree, and that's where I got my buck, just following sign, and then shortly thereafter, that's where you're like, fuck that, I'm leaving a stand up there around the same area, because it was a big buck. It was a spike, but it was a big spike, and a big body spike. So, like, you had faith in the area because you haven't been there and I don't know how long. And just the sign, the highway sign.
Well, they hadn't used it the year before because there wasn't much food source up there because there's a lot of beaches and a lot of oaks and there just wasn't a lot of food up there. So it was just no point in hunting up there. A lot of it was down towards the doe bedding on the other side of the property.
Towards the mountain lures.
Yeah.
So this year, something was telling me I was seeing a lot of fresh sign, went to the top. You know, the highway was there right on the edge of a funnel. And above that is the Oak Ridge that you just said, that you were just talking about. And you were like, fuck that, I'm setting up right here. And that's when you got What the Funk. And we were...
I didn't even get What the Funk up there.
No, when you deployed your camera.
Oh, yeah.
So, in reference to that, we started collaborating a little bit. And I was like, you know what? I really want to go in there. Since I got a buck down, I really want to film you. We should do a dub set to just film you. I'll bring my bow. So this way, if you get something, we'll double up, whatnot. And we were just thinking, you were like, dude, look at... Excuse me. Shabine burp. So you were like, where's this deer coming from? And from the looks of it, you know, I asked you, where did you deploy it? Which way is it looking?
Right.
Which way is the camera facing? And everything leaded towards the swamp, which is at the bottom of the mountain.
Yeah. And a lot to do with the swamp was when I had gone to go hunt there, not only that, my uncle had been telling me that he's been seeing tons of fucking big bucks on the lower side. And I had hunted down there. I had permission down
years
there.
Ago, right?
Yeah, a couple years ago. And then when I had pulled up to the spot a couple weeks ago, probably 2-3 weeks ago, there was a fucking little 6-pointer and he was running around does down there. And I was like, fuck this, dude. I got to call.
That was before New York, right?
Yeah, it was before New York. It was a week before New York when I had seen the does down there. I made the phone call to the landowner and I was like, all right.
Oh, you didn't even knock on the door?
No, they don't live around here.
Oh.
So I made the phone call to them and I was like, hey, you know, it's Trevor. You know, you have let me hunt there in the past. I was wondering if we could still have permission to hunt on your property.
You said we. That means I may have a chance?
Well, maybe. Somebody. So she no phone calls for over 2 weeks. And my last sit in Connecticut, I was sitting in the killing tree and my phone rings and it was a weird number. And it was just one of those things. I'm like, I never answer the phone in the woods, but this is a weird number. It might be a customer. I said, let me pick up the phone. So I pick up the phone and it's a landowner. And she's like, yeah, is this Trevor? Is it still hunting season? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, oh, this is so-and-so. I own the property over there, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh, really? She's like, yeah. She goes, I just wanted to let you know that it's okay to go hunt down there. So
did you take proper procedures and she faxed over a signed copy of permission?
Yeah, she emailed it over to me.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
perfect. Because that's important. You need that in hand.
Well, so what I did was, before that, I was still hunting. So I took down my set and I ran over there because now I have verbal permission so I can be on the property, just can't hunt. So I went down there, set up all my shit, got all set up.
For a good scout.
Yep.
Nice.
Waited. Sat in there that night, just kind of checked things out, and then without my hunting implements, then I waited for her to email everything over, and then I had it for the morning, and I went in there and hunted my last sit in Connecticut. I wasn't going to, but I sat my last set in there in Connecticut. So then we left for New York the next day. So I had a camera deployed in there. I had my set ready. I knew I wasn't going to be there for a fucking week. So what I did was Shabine burp. And so when I got home, Saturday, obviously, I did the balance thing. I spent the day with the wife. And then Sunday, the wind was going to be shitty. Horrible fucking wind. So I was like, you know what? I'm not even going in there. Wrong direction. I'm not doing it. So I waited till Sunday night. Actually, no, I'm sorry. So I said, no, fuck that. I'm going to go to breakfast. I'm going to do my thing, this, that, and the other thing. Hang out with the wife again. And then the wind changes 45 degrees, and I'm like, it's quartering wind. It is a dead deer day. So I came home, got all my shit ready. This was after lunch. Got all my shit ready, went into the stand, and sat. And sat. And sat.
And sat.
And didn't see a fucking thing. And So I went and I pulled a card before I went up there. So I opened it up. I had 7 different bucks on camera. Not a single one of them was where the funk. And I was like,
what the funk?
What the funk? Where the funk? What the funk? Was not on camera. So I was like, I kind of got a little bit discouraged. I'm like, come on, somebody's got to come through. Somebody's got to come through. 3:45, I hear something fucking running fast. And I was like, what in the hell is going on? Here comes a doe, straight downwind of me, Mach 10, fucking blows right by me, a foot off the bottom of my stand, literally. Couldn't believe it. I was like, all right, it's either a coyote coming out of the swamp chasing this doe, or it's a deer. So I grab a hold of my bow, and here he comes. And it's a big 10-pointer, and I'm like, no fucking way. I'm like, all right. Does the same thing he did to me in the killing tree 2 years prior. Fucking straight at me. Couldn't do a thing. I'm like, you gotta be fucking shitting me. Now he's 1 yard off the base of my tree, underneath me. Now he's walking away. Still no shot. Directly walking away from me.
And you're self-filming this year, so what were you thinking about your camera?
I said, fuck the camera. It just all had happened so darn fast. I'm like, I opened the camera, but by the time I went to go swing it to where he was coming from, I was like, you know what, fuck this. I gotta, like, this could happen. I need to be on the bow. So I just watch him walk away, and I dig in my pockets. I grab my grunt call. I whack it a couple of times, and he stops. He looks around, and then he just keeps on going. I'm like, fuck. Now I'm really upset. Like I'm honestly like, I'm like punching the tree. I'm like, there's no way. What the fuck? This sucks. Like I just watched the biggest buck of my life just walk out of it. I'm like, this sucks. Like this can't be happening. Like, are you serious? Like there's only so much time left in the hunt. Like what the fuck? So I'm sitting there. I'm all depressed and I'm really upset. And 15 minutes later, I hear the fucking doe again. Here she comes, barreling ass, down the same exact path, right underneath me. I'm like, all right, here he comes. This time, I'm fucking sinking it. I said, I don't care. Whatever, I'll shoot directly down at him. I said, I'm putting an arrow in this fucking thing. So I get all ready. Here he comes. But now he's on the second trail out. There's 3 trails. So where I am, there's a swamp bottom. It's like a swamp, kind of like field type, all like grass, like blown down grass. And then then it goes to woods, and then there's a river. So like I'm in like a perfect pinch point.
The transition.
Yeah. So and it's like there's tons of runs in there, scrapes, rubs. It's insane. So there's 3 right underneath me. There's 1 run which I didn't even know existed, and then there's the 20-yard run, and then there's a 33-yard run. And so the doe comes on the right underneath the tree run, blows right by me, and about 75 yards behind her is him. He's in tow. Now he's on the 20-yard run, and he's coming, and I'm like, all right, do I grab the camera? I'm like, no, because I can't. Like, I'm too much movement, too much shit going on. He's already come by, couldn't get a shot. I need to make this happen. So 22 yards, he's facing right at me, quartering to me. I just put it right on his fucking shoulder. I knew, damn right sure. I mean, I'm at 515 grains at 327 feet per second with a fucking Zeus up front. I said, I knew I was sinking it. Like, I'm just going to put it on his shoulder, and it's going to go. Like, there's nothing I can do. It's just, I'm going to fucking drill him. And so he gets right into the first opening in the first lane, 22 yards, fucking stops, whack. And I'm like, fuck. I thought I hit a little bit more forward, like watching the Luminoc. I'm like, I definitely hit more forward. I hit a little bit low. Like, I don't know, man. I got fucking nervous.
But quartering 2, that's kind of what you want, though, yeah?
I mean, on that shot, absolutely, 100%. Like, it was hindsight 2020. That was a fucking 12 ring. I mean, at first, I didn't know, man. Like, you're talking the biggest buck of my life.
Especially not having it on film. You can't go back to double check or
well, that's it.
Second guessing yourself, fucking freaking out. Who'd you fucking call? Yeah. I'm in the middle of my daughter's fucking birthday party. I get this fucking phone call. It's Trev fucking freaking out. I was like, yo, breathing heavy and shit. I'm like, dude, what's wrong? Did you just like finish a meal or something? Like, why are you breathing heavy? I just fucking hit what the fuck. I'm like, no way. And then all the girls look at me. I'm like, excuse me. And I went outside. I'm like, tell me the story. And you're like, I don't know if I hit him. I don't see the Luminoc. Maybe he ran off. I don't know. I'm like, dude, if you didn't see your Luminoc running away with it, then it's a pass through. I'm like, what were you hit it with a Zeus, right? Yeah, I hit it with a Zeus. I'm like, dude's dead. I'm like, where'd you hit him? Well, front shoulder, kind of low. I'm like, oh, you definitely hit vitals then. You definitely hit. I'm like, the deer's dead. I'm like, don't worry. Continue the story.
Yeah.
Man.
So I let it go, and I didn't really know, man. Like, I was just freaking the fuck out because I'm like, well, what? I can't look back on anything. I can't do nothing, and just as it's kind of funny is how this all had happened was my Moultrie camera that I have on my bow. I couldn't find the rest for it the whole entire fucking season. And that day when I went to go grab my bow, somehow it was inside of my bow case. So I'm like, it's made to happen. Today's the day. And it was kind of funny is I couldn't get the fucking thing on I didn't even think of it, man. So I have no footage to look back on to see where I hit it, how I hit it, nothing. So I waited for it to get dark, about 20, 30 minutes. I climbed down, went to where I shot, and it just looked like a fucking explosion. There was blood and hair everywhere. And
dude, as soon as you texted me, I'm like, deer's dead, man.
Yeah.
Deer's dead.
So I felt so much better, man. All my friends from down on the shore, all the guys I fish with, that's why I called second, and because I needed somebody who could track better than me and that had more experience. So I called up my boy Mikey, and they were all actually having dinner together. So they all came up, Luke and Albert and Taylor and Mike. So they all came up. So I went down. I checked out what was going on, where the blood was, or if there was any blood. A ton of blood. I backed out quietly, got out, came home, got changed. They shortly there arrived. We got on the blood trail, and he didn't go more than 50 fucking yards, and he was piled up.
I'm surprised you didn't hear him pile up. You know, or maybe you did, dude, and just the energy and the hype, you're just, bro, maybe you didn't even notice.
The only thing I can really remember after I shot the deer was just my leg fucking bouncing from the adrenaline.
Shaking.
It was on the step, dude, and I could just feel my foot just fucking shaking in the step, just fucking shaking profusely, and I'm just breathing heavy. The last thing I'm worried about is if he piled up or not. At this point, I'm thinking I did a shit fucking shot, which I was just praying that I didn't, because I thought that I hit like brisket low. Like, I'm like, fuck, I fucked up. Like, I don't know. I'm like, I know he was quartering to me. I hope he was quartering a little bit more than I thought. And I just put it in there, and I ended up fucking heart punching him. And I laid him down, dude. It was probably less than 50 yards. One of the biggest blood trails I've ever seen. And what ended up happening was
Zeus.
I did get a pass through. But what happened was when I went in the front of the right shoulder, it went through and it came out the lower part above the elbow on the left shoulder. So the fletching had gotten caught in his leg, and when he had gone about 5 yards, the Luminoc had come out, but the arrow came out, but the Luminoc ended up breaking. So I couldn't see the light of the green. So I didn't actually see the arrow resting there, or I would have went over to the arrow. But it was just fucking crazy, dude. The blood trail was insane. He didn't go far. He was piled up. And it was actually a really awesome recovery. I came home. My dad was here. And my dad just kind of like, I was like, Dad, I just shot the biggest buck of my life. And I showed him the picture. And he's like, that's a dead deer. And when he says it's dead deer, it's a fucking dead deer. So it was kind of cool. And then the boys showed up, and we all went in there, and we dragged it out. And it was fun. It was a blast.
That's awesome, man.
So now he's over at Brockett's, and he's getting mounted.
Hell yeah.
Me being that guy, I know you guys all hear me say, oh, I don't care if I shoot a 200-incher. I'm Euroing it, but I had to mount him, man. Like, everybody was talking me into it. They're like, dude, it's your biggest buck. It's your first big buck with a bow. Like, it's just a turning page for you. You need to fucking mount it. And I was like, all right, I'm going to mount them. So, and the wife told me to. So,
quote unquote, all I want is a wall hanger.
All I want is a wall hanger, man.
What a fucking story,
He
man.
might make book. We'll see. He's
Yeah,
going to be close.
We'll measure him up.
Yep.
It'd be awesome. And if you do want to shoulder mount and you're in the vicinity of Connecticut, hit up Chris Brockett. Not to be misconstrued with bracket. It's Brockett, BROCKETT. This dude does a phenomenal job. He's one of the best in the nation. There's always one of the best in each state, and this is the one for Connecticut. So check him out. If you need a Euro, hit up Trev's Euros. And
well, I can't take him from most states, so don't even bother.
It's all right. You never know. You never know what pops up in his beetle shed.
State.
Yeah. So, I mean, stay tuned. We have Wade Bormann coming up. Stay tuned for our next podcast where we do up-to-date season podcast. So this way we get to learn all our stories. And we have a lot to tell because we're just slaying it.
Why East Coast Bowhunting Podcast?
Because neither one of us wear pink camo.
East Coast Bowhunting Podcast. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Look, man, I'm from Wisconsin. I listen to the East Coast Bowhunters because you don't get anything more real than these guys.
Because East Coast Bowhunting sets the standards for keeping its listeners informed on everything that matters in the hunting industry.
Nice having somebody, local and represent the East Coast boys.
The East Coast is going to saddle up.
Number one source for slaying whitetails on the East Coast.
Well, you might see Jesus if you actually do something, it'll get you into heaven.
Why East Coast? Why not? I'm East Coast, baby. That's how we roll. Chew on that.
Come on the show, a stranger, and you feel like one of the boys when you leave.
Because I get my hunting camp anytime I want.
There's some absolute monsters roaming the East Coast, and I think it needs a little attention, so why not bring it to the East Coast Bowhunters Podcast?
Man, because East Coast is a tight-knit crew, and y'all like me. Raw, real, no bullshit.
Because you guys are hometown boys. I love you guys.
East Coast Bowhunting Podcast.
This is Kurt Geyer with Working Class Bowhunter, and East Coast Bowhunting Podcast is the only hunting podcast I'll tune into.
So let's get Wade Bormann on the line. All right, so we're back in line with Wade Bormann from Gator Outdoors. How you doing, Wade?
What's up, fellas? Not too bad.
So let's kick it off right, man. Let's remind the listener. Welcome to the show again, but let's remind the listener who you are, where you're from, and where we can find you.
Gator Outdoors. We are in the great state of Iowa. Go Hawks! We are an online hunting company. GatorOutdoors.com is where you can find us. Real simple. We actually also do graphic sales, and we now have just bought a brand new embroidery machine, so now we're doing embroidery as well. Doing a little bit of logo work, but kind of a jack of all trades company.
That's dope, man. I got to send out my thongs so you can embroider our logo on them. This way, the elite and Gator promo video look better.
Yeah. I bet your thong isn't very big either.
Well, I don't have much of an ass, so if that's what you're referring to.
yeah, that's right.
Oh man, so you know what? Everyone's been anticipating the Gator Giveaway, which is the Drifter cooler filled with the Drifter Grizzly cooler filled with Gator gear, and we did announce originally that we were going to announce the winner on Veterans Day, but there's so many giveaways on Veterans Day that we made the executive decision to just wait to have you on and you declare the winner. So what better time to do that in the most fair way that we came up with, since you don't know who entered at all. Right? Correct?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't know anybody that entered, no.
Okay, cool. So we made a list.
Nobody actually entered, so.
Oh, yeah. I entered like 3 times myself. But so what we did is we listed everyone that entered with a number right next to them, starting with number 1, and this includes Facebook and IG. So some people entered both, so they have double the chance to win. So we started from number 1, and we had 107 entries for this giveaway. So that's pretty dope. So the best way that Trev and I came up with is, Wade, just pick a number 1 through 107, and that'll be the winner for the Grizzly cooler, Drifter cooler with the Gator gear.
Oh, yeah. Let's do number.
Whoa. Before we do that, what inspired you to, like, put up this giveaway?
To be honest, a lot of people really lately, times are tough, and a lot of people want to get, a nice cooler, and it just they're expensive. And, I just thought we're heading to the holiday season, people are going to be drinking, everybody's going to need to keep their drinks cold, so I thought, you know what, let's get a cooler. And called you guys up and said, let's give away a cooler to these guys, my boys, and let's make some fans proud.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. All right. I just wanted to build up the anticipation for the winner.
We're going to have some fun. Hey, but yeah, we're going to throw a bunch of Gator gear stuff in it too, though. Don't worry.
Cool. Like, stuff like what? I'm kind of interested.
We're going to throw in some hats. We got shirts made. You've seen the Ruckcation shirts, haven't you?
Hell yeah, those are dope.
They are really dope. They're so cool. We're going to throw in stocking caps. We got actually blaze orange stocking caps actually being made in the shop today. We'll throw in some stickers. We'll maybe throw in a gift certificate for the shop, for the online store.
Wow.
We'll do a little, it'll be a nice little package, I'll tell you that.
Hell yeah. Merry Christmas to D-Rock. I mean, the winner. So, all right. So let's not keep them waiting any longer. 1 through 107. What's the number you pick, man?
55.
55. Let's look for 55. Oh, Stephen Carpenter.
Whoa.
Off of Facebook. You are the winner. We will make a post on this too, but we won't make a post until this episode's released. So in real time, this podcast is released, and we'll make that post then. So Stephen Carpenter.
He better like Gator Outdoors before I check and see if he didn't like me yet or not.
Hopefully he does. I'm sure he does. We have faithful listeners. So
yeah.
Stephen Carpenter, you are the winner. You're going to get hooked up hopefully before the holiday season, if not just before Christmas. And you're going to be hooked up, compliments of Gator Outdoors, and hosted by East Coast Bowhunting Podcast. Congratulations, man. That's dope. I'm kind of jealous because I wanted to win.
And Steven was one of the supporters who actually went to Shabine also. So.
Oh, that's awesome, man. He was there for the Elite Archery
giveaway
sponsor reveal. Oh, wow. That's really cool, man. That's really cool. Nice, keeping it in the family. So, what do you think about that, Wade? What do you think about us getting sponsored by Elite? You think Elite made the wrong choice?
No.
Maybe.
To be honest, they made a great choice. Especially, you guys are so well known on the East Coast, and you guys are the East Coast crew, so it's a big deal. I just think having a sponsor, that big a sponsor, really shows how big you guys are getting, and I'm excited for you guys, the direction you're going.
Hell yeah, man. And at the same time, I think I can speak for Trev and myself that we feel the same sentiments towards you, man. I mean, you've really been popping and growing. I mean, shit, we just started collaborating about a year ago, maybe a little less, and started kind of working together more and more. So take us back to the beginning, man, when we kind of reached out to each other to see what was good. And I think it started with maybe we just knew all the same people and got along with all the same friends, kind of in the same circle, so to speak.
Yeah, definitely. It's all one big family. But the big deal with what we're doing is, obviously, as you know, with our store, we're only offering products to the public selling-wise that we actually truly believe in, that we actually use every day in the field. And working with, like, working class and you guys, we're all using the same products and pushing the same stuff. We all believe in that, and it just makes a great family out of it. And it's great great for all the companies. It's great for us. It's great for the people that are, looking into us.
That's awesome, man. So what's the first or the most significant growth that you've seen? I don't mean in between your pants, though, or in between your legs, but on your business-wise, like what expanded the quickest, you think, as far as either product or maybe time lapse? Like when did you see like something noticeable that stood out and be like, whoa, something just spiked?
Yeah, so what's been what worked out nice is when we just started the company, back in, what was it? It was back after the Iowa Deer Class, a little after March. We were at ATA, so we really started the online biz probably around March, I think is what it was, April, and pushed that. But I didn't see it once we're on a few podcasts with you guys, but in working class, that really wasn't a big boom. But then our IG presence, obviously our Facebook presence, getting the right people on board, really, shot us in the air pretty quick. And that's how we've changed a lot of things since we've started. I have an idea next year. I think we're going to add a trapping line, and we're going to start a fishing line as well, waterfowl, but it just takes time to add everything to that store. I don't know how Amazon does it, but they have more money than we do.
Hell yeah. And that's what's awesome about it is that we can kind of get away from the Amazon, even though like, okay, everyone's like, oh, well, I could just easily, now you could easily order something on Amazon and get it the same day if they have it in inventory locally. But that's a little unrealistic in the sense of supporting local or the smaller business. And people kind of, I feel that people need to really pay closer attention to that. A perfect example is we did a recent episode with Trader Jan's, which is a local archery shop here in Massachusetts, here in the East Coast. And they just opened up, Wicked and Twisted Bowstrings. And, we're sponsored by Winner Choice Bowstrings. And, we made sure that was not a conflict. And they're like, no, by all means, they're an obsession shop. They want to turn into an elite shop. And what better way to really promo a small business than that way? Like, there's so many smaller businesses like that. That's just one example. Like, there's X-Spot, which is an exclusive elite dealer here in the East Coast, and Hall's Arrows, that is super close to us specifically. As a matter of fact, my bow is there right now. I got new cams and mods and axles put in. We could get into that story a little later. It has actually a funny story. Epic story, but funny story at that. But, that's where it's at. Where I'm getting at is we really need to push local. And it really starts from, I always say ground zero, but it's really from us, man. We really need to push and focus on that. So this way the hunter community and conservation is a stronger unit than what it is now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%.
So, speaking about conservation, why don't you dip into your harvest, the big buck you slayed in Iowa, man, because that was a fucking slammer.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, I mix and match a little bit. I do a lot of sits on public. I do a lot of sits on private. It just kind of, depends on what direction, what you really want to do and what you're after. What dictates where I'm going to sit at, but I have a couple nights here on a private property. I decided to kind of leave that place be, let them grow a little bit. I'm lucky being in Iowa, I can do that. Some people aren't as fortunate to do that, but I ended up buying a small 30-acre piece of ground, and I put trail cameras up right away on it. And 3 weeks in, I had this really nice buck on camera. I call it Browse. Real long brow tines. You can see it on my social pages, even on Gator if you dig deep about a month ago, back in October. But the funny thing is, I actually had a few encounters in person with them out there. I put a scrape stick up on a field edge, on one of my field edges there, and was kind of messing around, and I don't know what startled him or what, but he come out of the neighbor's ground and jumped the fences, came running in right at me. And I'm just standing there, I'm like, what the hell? I must have pissed him off. Didn't know what was going on, but then once he saw what I was, he spook jumped and ran back in the timber. I'm like, this guy's ready to rock. And that was October, probably 21st. My birthday was on the 23rd, so I hunted him 2 days later and saw him that night, and that next morning I hunted again, didn't see him. That night, though, he came out and right at last light and put him down.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So let's backtrack a little bit. You put up the scrape stick, and you said he was ready to rock. He came out. Like,
I don't know why. I think just me, like, messing around and making noise. He thought it was another deer and just jumped the fence and was hauling ass right towards me. I don't know what the deal was. But he was coming right at me, and he wasn't – I had to kind of yell and tell him to get out of here because he wasn't backing down really, and then he kind of jumped the fence and took off. But, yeah, he was ready to rock.
Oh, no shit.
Wow.
Like that.
Yeah,
That's
he
crazy.
was pretty pissed off.
What was going on through your head when he wasn't backing down and shit? Like, I mean,
Well, I really figured it out. I mean, as of now, that there's got to be, a dozen scrapes in this 30-acre spot. All these does that were in there. He was king of that 30-acre piece. He was on camera every day. He owned that place. So if somebody else is in there, he's like, who's in my bedroom?
True. True.
And, I don't know. I just let the straight stick there, and he was hitting that thing, the next day, and I killed him. But it was a pretty good experience, I'll tell you that.
Hell yeah, that's a dope fucking birthday present, I would say. Shit. I mean,
it was really good.
How did you get to? I mean, obviously that was his territory, and when it's funny because Trev and I just got back from New York, hunting New York, and we really got to see big bucks doing big buck things, and that's one thing that stood out to the both of us. Primarily is like big dominant bucks definitely like maintain their territory. They're roaming all around, head down, sniffing everything, making sure that everything's the way they left it. And you mentioned checking in his bedroom. I mean, shit, just like any person that might be suspecting of his old lady cheating on him or something like that, he probably just like, yo, what the fuck? Let me go see what's up with that. You know what I mean? So,
For sure.
I mean, when you put up your cameras and stuff, was it easy to pattern? Like, what was your approach at that?
So basically, I wanted to. I put up probably six or seven Lone Wolf custom gear cameras. Best cameras on the market, by the way.
Damn, deep pockets, bro.
Dude, those videos that we're posting up though right now on those cameras are so crystal clear. It's the sound, everything. You can hear the wind howling. It's a great camera. I mean, they are badass.
That target camera. That target buck that I shot this year also was on the undercover cam. Also, I can't get over the quality of that camera.
Yeah, I'm so lucky to be close to Cody and them here. Cody DeQuista lives probably, 10 minutes from me, and actually, I just showed him my videos that I had. He goes, "Those are dope." I'm like, "Yeah, you guys built this, so yeah, it's pretty cool." But no, basically that pattern. So what I did was I just put cameras all over that farm and kind of narrowed down where he's coming out. There's like an old logging road that comes to a field edge, and he'd be in that bedding area. And then at night he'd just come out and start poking around, looking for does. Just starting to get heated up. And so I just said, well, I'm gonna put a stand right on that field edge, and that's where I'm basically gonna sit primarily because I just bought this property too. I kind of wanted to. Be able to have a good sit where I can see the whole layout and what's going on. Didn't actually expect anything really to happen. But I was at the right place at the right time, it's just deer hunting.
That's awesome.
So,
man. That's awesome.
It was, it wasn't anything scientific. It was, pretty simple to figure out.
Damn, you make it sound easy, bro. Shit. I got to start hunting Iowa, I guess.
Yeah.
No. But on some real tip, I mean, what was going through your mind when you were in stand, last light? Because, I mean, I try to put myself in your shoes, right? And me at last light, right? Especially after sitting, because Trev and I, we put in hours sometimes. Sometimes I like to play the wind as much to the point that I might go in maybe 2 hours before last light instead of sitting a long sit. I try to utilize the wind and thermals to my advantage, because something that I learned hunting in Ohio from Tattooed in the Wild is sometimes being in too long will, especially if you don't use scent control, right? sometimes being in too long will work against you as far as thermals coming down and then your scent being in there for too long. So, I mean, it's something I'm learning more and more on every sit and every hunt with all these different people. And I think I could speak for Trev that, you know, depending on the situation is depending how long we're sitting. So putting myself in your shoes, right? Going in, waiting. How long were you sitting for that night?
So I probably sat for probably 6 hours.
Wow, 6 hours. So going.
Yeah, I sat for 6.
6 hours. So obviously you're playing the wind. Do you do any type of scent control?
Well, oh yeah, for sure. But you know, the main thing you got to think about it for a minute. This field edge where I'm at, you have to kind of see it. But all the wind, everything that's going on, I'm never going to bump these deer. They can't see me going in and out. You know, this bedding area has to come up to me. It's kind of they kind of got to funnel upwards. It's kind of a weird deal. And there's a gravel road along the bottom of this property I own. And so they come towards me up the fence line, and you know I'm higher up on the air on top of them, so they can't win me. And I mean, of course, scent crusher. You know, I crush all my clothes. I let them, leave them outside for a good couple of days. But you know, just normal scent control, and I get dressed outside when I get to the timber, and do the normal things everybody else does.
Nice. So I put myself in your shoes and just really kind of trying to visualize what you're going through. And I know me personally, from my own experience, at last light, it's like after sitting, especially like a 6 hour sit, like by last light, it's like, all right, like I'm hanging up my bow. I break out the DSLR and start getting good like B-roll and maybe some good shots of the sunset or last light, gray light. And I mean, your situation, I can only imagine what you're going through at last light. This monster come out of the woods. So what was going through your head once he finally came out and gave you a shot?
Yeah, so what he did was I actually had 4 does jump the fence in front of me and kind of out of nowhere, and they were hauling ass. And I'm like, well, something's got these things moving. So I look back to my right, and he jumps the fence. And, I mean, they went right in front of me, and so did he, and lights out. Simple as that.
How far away was he?
35 yards.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
it wasn't a bad shot at all, and I just love watching that arrow when I left my bow and just smoked him and went straight in that timber. And I gave him about 3.5, 4 hours. Drank a few beers, kind of sell the nerves down, and went back in. Figured I didn't really have good blood, but I know that. I kind of heard him crash, but I thought I'd just give him some time, and it was long enough. We kind of heard a death growl. I don't know if you ever heard one of them before, but that's the dying, the death growl. So
yeah,
that. We'll come back in here in a little bit.
It's like the last breath. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, there's nothing else like that in the woods.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So that's cool that you kind of just backed out, even after hearing them pile up and get the last roar. It's like, you know what? He'll be there when I get there. You know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, shit, after going through all that, I mean, you're rocking a Ritual, yeah?
Yes, I am.
That's sweet. Oh, just out of curiosity, what kind of arrows you ripping?
FMJs.
Okay, cool.
Eastons.
And I'm only assuming this, but you're rocking some Slick Tricks?
Oh, yeah.
Actually,
that's what the whole team has been running them.
So why don't you break down, though? You say the whole team. Who's the whole team?
So, Drifter, you guys everybody knows Connor Wakefield. Obviously, we got you guys. A lot of local close friends of mine here in my area that are really repping the brand hard. The working class guys, we're all a part of the Gator team. We're just trying to, build something, and just show everybody the products we're using and our hunts. And boy, for our first year really doing this locally here in Iowa, a lot of our guys have really been putting down deer. I mean, we've been so fortunate this year, and it's really been a magical year for us. And to have it, all be able to have this, little Gator team started and be able to post and share with a lot of people around the world, it's been really fun.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. I mean, primarily the East Coast team before Zeus came out, shout out to our boy Nick Albanese, the owner of Tack Driver TV on Pursuit Channel. He came out with Zeus Broadheads this year officially. So we've really been helping local, like we were talking about earlier, and really pushing the East Coast, especially with Zeus Broadhead. And they're devastating, man. There's so many good broadheads out there, so I'm not saying one's better than the other.
Oh, definitely.
But we're definitely seeing the results and putting. I mean, shit. You see the deer we're putting down, but at the same time, though, what I'm getting at is before Zeus came out, that's all we rocked was slick tricks. Word, Trev?
Yeah, the raptor tricks, man.
Yeah, them raptor tricks are no joke too, man. Just devastation all the way around.
Yeah, I mean, the broadhead market, you know, it's just, you got to remember, the Indians use a rock, you know. You know, back in the day, they carved a freaking rock. And I just see so many comments of people, oh, that broadhead, you know, blah, blah, blah. Dude, Indians use rocks. So you really can't be bitching too much about what we have to use this time in our life. I mean, my Lord. You know, you see it all the time, too, and people blow each other up. I'm like, I got to get off this page.
Yeah, you know what? That's a perfect time to segue to. I mean, I don't know if you want to talk about it or not, but you and I had a conversation about something similar to that. You want to dip into that a little bit?
I'm trying to think what you're talking about.
Snapchat?
Oh, yeah. So I just love it a little bit. You know what? Everything that you do anymore, everybody just likes to blow each other up. And I had to do it the other day. We're always on Team Gator. We have our own Snapchat. Everybody's got Snapchat groups, and everybody just likes to give them shit. And then some people get pissed off. And at the end of the day, I'm just thinking, man, let's just be a little bit nicer and, you know, kosher to people, and let's just quit the BS. And so I'm trying to work hard on kind of making everything, you know, a little nicer around the block. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, man. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, that's what the Gator team represents as a whole. Is just being.
You get on Facebook, you get online, you know, everybody's just, you know, ripping into somebody or they're making fun of somebody, and especially I hate when, you know, somebody's got a glory shot, and you know, my deer, you know, it's not the biggest on the farm, but I'm really proud of it. You know, screw that, man. You're excited, you're jacked up. You know, be happy about your deer. You don't need to you know, prove anything to anybody else. I can't stand that when there's people commenting, you know, should have let them grow another year. You know. Come on. I'm tired of it.
I couldn't agree more, man, because, I mean, shit, all of us this season, especially here in the East Coast team, I can't speak for everyone else on the Gator team, but we've, like, Trev and I's first kill off of a saddle, our first saddle kill, was a little itty-bitty thing. Like, I had a button doe, and what'd you have?
Button buck.
A button buck. So it's not anything, you know what I mean? And especially, like, that's something to be careful with. To kind of piggyback off of that, it's like, you see a doe with two smaller deer following behind, don't take the fucking doe. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Especially early season.
Yeah. I mean,
but if they come alone.
I'm saying, if they come alone, it was just one of those things, like, I won't say that I'm super proud about it. I mean, the fact that it was a button doe, I was like, oh, shit, like, that's something special. But I wonder how that button doe would have looked like with some bone on her. But at the same time, It's like, first sit with a saddle, I have an opportunity. It was just one of those things. Yeah. It's like, you have to kill deer in order to know how to kill deer, especially out of a new way of hunting.
Well, it's not even that, but here in Connecticut, we have so many darn tags, and there's so many darn deer that it's like, I mean...
Why are you saying darn?
I don't know.
What is this?
I don't
Disney
know.
Channel all of a sudden?
I don't know.
Shit.
No, but just... And not even that, but over the whole entire summer, all we wanted to do was fucking kill shit. And we go in the woods, and here they come. Now they're dead. It's just how it goes,
I mean,
man.
At the end of the day, too, is we need, you know, my fiance and I, we need probably 2 to 4 deer a year, you know, just so we can have something to... I mean, that's what we eat all year round.
Yep.
Right.
You know?
I can't
go on
agree
the
with you
river,
more.
we're having everything we do. So it's like, in a day, I need to shoot something, bring something home to eat. You know, it's great if I get something on the wall. That's awesome. In the day, though, you know, what am I making my chili with? I don't want to use beef. That deer tastes way better.
Hell yeah. Amen to that, man. And to piggyback off of what Trev's talking about, in Connecticut, I mean, we have like 65 deer or 60 some odd deer to every square mile here. And then you get into the bait zones, it's even more. So it's like one of those things is, okay, maybe we necessarily shouldn't be targeting young bucks, but at the same time, if you do, it's like it's actually helping. Granted,
more food for the rest of them.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, we need to go out there. If we see deer and we have tags to fill, we need to fill the tags and save those, last few tags for the special deer too. You know what I mean? We need to do our part, and that's conservation.
Special deer. Speaking of special deer, didn't Justin Steins just shot a big buck too on the Gator team?
Justin Steins. Yeah, I was with him on that recover, and what a mature deer! You guys see that picture on our social page to see that deer?
Yeah.
Yep,
I saw it. Yep.
What a stud 8! I think it scored. I think he was definitely going downhill. 145, I think, is what he. Don't quote me, something like that. But I mean, real wide. I don't know how wide it was, but just a big. You could tell he was actually really thin because of the rut. But he had cameras actually for 3 years. He saw him on camera, and it was. That's a big deer. That is a big animal.
That's awesome. Can you dip into that story a little bit? Because I remember you talking about it. You said that the deer looked run down, like he was just beat up from the rut and tired.
Yeah. What happened was he shot that deer and didn't see good blood. It just wasn't really good blood. Decided to back out, knowing, though, that we had a big rainstorm coming that night. It was going to rain pretty bad, and it was foggy, and it's real crappy out. But next morning I said, let's get in early, let's see what we can do. And he probably wasn't 80 yards, but we got to him. And I mean, he just looked rough, really thin, just from being in the rut and worn down. I mean, he didn't see him on camera almost all season, so he must have went somewhere and then just came back. Just real eyes were pretty sunk in. You can just tell he was he was pretty beat up from the season.
That's crazy, man. I wonder how many does he breeded. You know, to be that run down, there's no way he didn't get none. At least at least he went out happy.
I know he went out happy. We were laughing our ass off when to gut him. He didn't have much hair in his balls.
Airless balls.
I was like,
noted.
I don't think deer have razors, so I think he must have been pretty busy.
Oh man, spitting out like an old man.
Oh yeah, he was old, that's for sure. He's getting him age too, so I'll have to let you guys know what he comes in at now. So one of our guys here, that taxidermist, does can age deer, so we're gonna see how old he actually is.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So as far as bow hunting, just to kind of take a sharp left turn, getting back to Gator Outdoors. I know, shout out to Combination Creative, Jordan Johnson. He's the fucking man. If you don't know, then you need to know, Hunter, hashtag. But you need to, can you run down real quick on the bow hunting side some of the brands that you not only work with but believe in?
Yeah. So it's real simple, actually. And Jordan made this very simple, made going to the website very simple. And most people listening right now jump on their smartphones when that happens. And you can go, I'm working on an app. I'd like to get an app actually on the phone soon, which, is a little pricey, but it'll get there. They take you straight to it instead of using the web browser. Well, again, it's at GatorOutdoors.com. And right away, it'll kind of give you the family feel of it. It kind of lets you know. I'll show you all the brands that we believe in. So what it'll do is you go down to the Gator Store tab, and it'll take you down to each different logo and company that we offer. So if you click on the logo, it'll tell you, it'll show you the products that we're selling on that from that company. So obviously, like Camex crossbows, Winner's Choice bowstring, Scout Archery, Elite Bows, Slick Trick, trying to think, custom bow equipment, all those are on there. Solid Broadhead, company. those are all family, business through the outdoor group. So that is what we have on there. Basically anything the outdoor group has is going to be on our website.
Hell yeah, that's nice, man. That's super nice. And then to piggyback off of that, the listener can use the promo code ECB10 and save themselves some money off of their shipping, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, ECB10 and 10% off. Any orders over $100 actually is free shipping.
Wow, look at that. So, I mean, shit. Order more than $100, you get free shipping, use the promo code, and you get 10% off of your purchase. Doesn't get any better than that.
We had a big sale on XOP tree stands. That was actually my point I was going to get at before. In the beginning, when you were asked, what really catapulted you this year, was our XOP tree stands sale. I'm hoping everybody had a pretty good experience with their stands and getting them on time. We had a couple people that we had some mixed up addresses where we sold so many tree stands in such a short amount of time. In 2 or 3 days, I can't remember if it was like 100 and some. I can't remember how many stands we sold. It was a lot, and that really shut us up because we actually have people on the website, and we're going to do it again next year. I want everybody to know that. But those tree stands are not cheap to ship. So when you spend over $100, that was free shipping on those tree stands. You didn't have to worry about paying. So that was a really big deal to everybody because you can get a really good deal on a tree stand, like going to actual XOP, getting yourself, walking in the door. So you got it straight from us.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So now that is really awesome because you know what? In comparison, like the DeQuisto series, Lone Wolf Custom Gear, which is part of your availability as far as equipment, right?
Yes, correct. Because obviously XOP is their actual manufacturer. They're about 30 minutes from our place, so we're really close to each other, which helps getting stands out effectively. But after talking to Cody and getting the dealer paperwork done, jumped on the Lone Wolf Custom Gear. I mean, that was a no-brainer. Once they figured everything on their end and getting stands for us, that's been really helping business out as well. But between XOP and Lone Wolf Custom Gear, it's a great combination between those two.
Hell yeah, I'm most intrigued on the Ambush, their newest platform, which Trev owns right now. So I'm like looking over like with a little bit of a grimace, you know what I mean? But yeah,
Trev, have Trev tell us a little about that Ambush stand. How do you like it?
I've yet to use it. Our shotgun season just opened yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. So I've been out with the shotgun, so I haven't been up in the saddle.
So in podcast land compared to real land, it's about 4 days ago.
Yeah, so it's on the 20th. Our shotgun season opened, but I got it. It is the lightest thing I have ever put my hands on as far as a platform is for saddle hunting. I did a
lighter than the Perch too, because the Perch is pretty light.
I guess.
But it's comparing apples and oranges.
Yeah,
though,
that's
right?
a different type of kind of platform. I was more or less comparing it to the Predator. I put it next to the Predator. The tethered
there's no
Predator.
Comparison, man.
No, and
I've actually used the Predator. I'm sorry, I keep on.
It's all good. It's double the size of the Predator platform, but it's actually it's the same exact weight, if not less.
Really?
Yeah. So we were messing around with it because I have it, and my other buddy Seth has one also. So I was like, "Let me see that thing." So we put it side by side, and you have double the room. With
so your
less
buddy
weight.
had the Predator, and you had the Ambush.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good comparison.
Yeah. So we got to mess around with both of them. Very easy to use. They do come with a backpack strap. The other nice thing about it is they have their own little tabs on the back of the Ambush that you can actually put a second strap on. So if you want more stability, but I don't think that but I don't think that you really need it because it actually is. You can get onto the side of it. You can get onto the front of it. You have no problems.
And it has self-leveling.
So on the actual, when they went over the first one at ATA on the YouTube channel. There was actually the self-leveling was different than what it actually is now on the actual one that came out from the prototype to now. This one is just a knob and it has a bar that self-levels it. So it's way easier. And it has a bigger, from the ATA one to now, it has a bigger top on the T-bar, on the top of the T-bar to put your foot on it. I don't know, man. It was definitely a knock out of the park. I'm super excited to use it. I was a little bit upset that it came out a little bit later in the season because now we're getting to the end of the rut and I just got it. So
you can't rush perfection, man.
I know, no, and
especially for a big dude like yourself.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like to get something like the ambush, the fact that it's a little bit bigger than the predator, that's pretty awesome.
And not even that, the weight. The weight was well worth it because now getting into those times like now that we'll be doing all day sits, I was just thinking that it would just be a better thing. Can loosen up the saddle and stand on it like a regular tree stand and not have to worry. So you can definitely be a little bit more comfortable with a bigger platform.
How far are you, Trev? How far are you walking in usually?
Oh man, some spots.
Don't be deceived by his size, man. Sometimes he troops in for sure.
I mean, a lot of the spots. I mean, you're talking minimum a half mile probably. And a lot of the areas that we do hunt are big mountain terrain. So, I mean, you're hiking up mountains.
Half mile as the crow flies, but probably a mile and a half walking,
Yeah, so some of the mountain terrains that we hunt are huge.
Where I'm getting at with this, too, is, a lot of people, are basically, they come out of the woodwork. I need to save an ounce here, an ounce there, a pound there. I get that, but for the majority of people, how far are you actually walking to your tree that you're worried about that pound? You know what I mean?
Right.
So a lot of people, I know around here, if they're hunting public ground, they're going to maybe go a couple hundred yards. You really need to be that jacked up about that pound or two. I mean, you're not going that far, Tubby.
Yeah. You know what? I'm glad you bring that up, Wade, because Trev and I had the pleasure of hunting bow and bridle in upstate New York last week. And we met up with one of our, I guess you would call him the cabin caretaker, to be nice. And believe it or not, his nickname is Bear Balls. He's actually an avid hiker. So with hikers, like he does the Appalachian Trail. So with someone of that magnitude, like every ounce counts to that type of person. But that type of person is hiking, miles upon miles. So that being said, to bounce off of what you're saying, is if you're doing those type of walks, like for example, myself specifically on one of my private pieces that I have, I actually ride my quad in 4 miles and then I troop 2 miles in. So that's what I have to do for Fabio, just to even get a chance to see him in stand, So that being said, lighter is better for me. What I've been using right now, because I don't have the ambush, I have a couple presets in there. So this way that saves me, I cheat a little bit. And all I bring with me actually is my Wild Edge perch, because I don't have the ambush either. So I have nothing to compare it to except for that. But the perch is super light, and I already have it prefixed to the Wild Edge step. So this way I'm just hiking in with my bow, my backpack full of camera gear, which sucks because that's with the batteries and camera gear for self-filming. That's actually pretty heavy. If I had to put a number on it, maybe maybe 30 pounds on my back. And then the perch. So after all said and done, it's pretty light. So by the time you get to the stand, it's like, I'm not tired, but I'm trying not to sweat. So it's one of those like fine balances of not having too many layers on, which we learned last week a lot.
Yeah.
And not sweating a lot and just taking your time, knowing when to stop so you don't sweat. Scent controls everything because, wind is king, but going in light as possible so you sweat less amounts. And then on top of it, scent control with Scent Crusher. It just gives you those few extra seconds, like Garrett Benner, the Modern Assassin, brought up in one of our last episodes. Is like the extra few seconds that buys you time on scent control could make or break the deal.
Yeah.
For sure. And to go along with that, though, sometimes like with hiking very long distances and stuff, I would rather, if I'm going to do like an all-day sit, I wouldn't mind packing in something to make me a little bit more comfortable through the day that weighed
like
a little bit
crackers?
more. No, I'm saying like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so even if the ambush did weigh, say, 5 more pounds, I would rather carry that in with me and have
than something
to
smaller
be comfortable and be able to hunt all day than to carry in something small that's lighter. You know, I never understood the whole like using toothpicks and fucking and floss to get up a fucking tree. I'd rather just be comfortable. You know, like I never understood that.
270 pounds. I mean, I'm a big man, and I need something that can haul my fat ass up a tree and down without being loud and not break on me. You know, when they say maximum weight 200 pounds, I'm getting worried. I got a lot of heavy shit on me.
Yep.
And I'm a big Iowa boy, so it's like I can't have something that's tiny and brittle and cheap, and I've got to spend the extra money and make sure it's durable and it's proven, and that's what they are.
Have you tried saddle hunting yet?
No, I have not.
So, go ahead.
A lot of people, are trying. I mean, they want me to get into it. I'm actually not opposed to it. But I guess the big thing is you just need to jump into it. I just haven't. And it looks like a lot of work, but the way it sounds, it's not.
No.
And that's just my opinion. I just got to look into it more.
So I can honestly tell you, if Trev can do it, any hunter out there can do it. We don't have the segment Trev's bloopers for no reason, and he has had minimal in comparison to a climber versus saddle. I can honestly say he's had a lot less bloopers.
Climbers are just fucking dangerous. I'm sorry, they're just ridiculous.
And this is coming like from you. They always use the climber primarily.
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely. And to put your mind a little bit at ease, man. Like I'm not what I used to be, but I'm probably in the 260 range now, and I'm 6 foot. So like, I thought the same as you're saying. Like, I'm a big fucking dude, man, and I'm gonna put on a thong to climb a fucking tree. This doesn't sound like a good time. In all actuality, man, I would much rather be in a saddle than I would at any type of tree stand, no matter what, man. Honestly, I feel so much more safer. And especially being a bigger dude. I mean, like, for example, when we were in New York this past week, I had had a lone wolf hang-on stand with sticks, and we hiked in probably close to a mile. And I got up in that thing, man, and I just felt so unsecure being in it and not and I'm wearing a harness.
Well, that
and
was
everything.
the first time you ever used one of those too, though, right?
Yeah, but
so that plays a huge factor because, and I don't mean to cut you off because I've used those sticks and stands for a long time, and they're super secure. But I'm not 260 pounds either.
I'm saying as far as like safety wise or how I felt like compared to a saddle. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that I didn't feel secure in it or not, but it was just that being in a saddle, man, you're just constantly locked to a tree. You're constantly, you're just tied in. You feel so much safer. Nothing's going to happen to you. If anything slips, falls, breaks, it doesn't matter because you're locked into the tree and you're not going anywhere, no matter what.
So what
You're going to shit your pants a little.
Yeah. Well, that's what the saddle diaper's for. It holds the shit in. So what he's trying to get at is, for example, like a hang-on stand or even a climber, right? The harness, you're always tied in too. The way you're supposed to properly climb, you're always tied to the tree. Now, let's say your climber, the bottom drops out, and for some odd reason, it wasn't connected to your top. Or let's just say the hang-on strap busts and you're just hanging from your harness. In comparison to saddle hunting to that situation, if you don't have your like leg aider, like that strap for blood pressure or blood flow release or relief rather, that's a huge difference. So I think where Trev was getting at is like with saddle hunting, you don't need that shit. Like, let's say your whole platform gives out, you're basically sitting in your saddle and you're hugging the tree. You don't need all that extra, like, well, not all that extra, but that one extra thing to kind of save your circulation of your blood. You could still call for help, blah blah blah. So in comparison, I think that's the one up. But all in all, quite honestly, all season, almost every kill's been out of a saddle for me personally. I've had one kill out of a hang-on, one out of a climber. Yep. So like I'm very diverse. I'm situational. Certain sits, if it's a short sit and I feel the climber's the best way to go, I use my lone wolf climber. I got my Ohio buck off of Lone Wolf HangOn, and all the rest of the bucks are out of the Modern Assassin saddle made by Arrow Hunter, sponsored by Wild Edge. So it's situational.
Mine are all saddles.
Well, that's why you have the tattoo saddle up.
That's it.
So Wade, what's your preference, or what do you feel most safe in? Especially, you have a DeQuisto series too, right?
I actually been using all XOP this year.
Oh, XOP.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, well, this is the whole reason behind that was with the Lone Wolf stuff. Yeah, I want to have one for myself, but everybody ordering, they want one too, so I got to take care of everybody else before me. So that's what's been the issue there. So next year when they're caught up, I'll just take care of myself, over the year. But yeah, I can't just be using one myself and everybody else wants one and they're trying to order on my website. Like, I gotta help them out first. But yeah, I've been using XOP stands, but I've used in the past Summit. I was actually using a climber. I actually have a few of them, Summit climbers, and the whole problem is still if I use one, I'm sweating. I mean, I'm going 25 feet in the air and I'm climbing, and if like the way you guys were talking, if I could not sweat as much trying to get the through the saddle, then that'd be better for me, because when you're climbing, using a climber, you're gonna sweat. I mean, unless you just take your time and you're in there super early, but it's tough to do.
I do have a question. Now that you're in the XOP, man, and you went from a climber, if you could tell everybody kind of like the way that you set up an XOP stand, because I think that's something that kind of gets lost in setting it up. And that was one of my problems with the Lone Wolf, properly setting it up and camming it to the tree.
Right, because that was your first time, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's hard, really, to just say and how to do. I mean, without being a YouTube video or without actually doing your hands-on. Even a YouTube video, I mean, you really need to learn how to set up. It's super simple once you do, and it's a great feature that, that they knock out of the park, don't get me wrong, but, I mean, it's just something you really have to do hands-on. I mean, I can explain it, but I think that without doing hands-on, you're not really going to know how to do it. You know what I mean?
And I totally agree with you. That's more or less what I wanted to hear, kind of, is that you have to definitely learn how to do it properly. You can't just, it's not like a regular hang-on. You have to do, I call it the Quisto Cam Over series. We were talking about it. Because when I first saw him do it, I'm like, yo, this dude's crazy. He is out of his fucking mind. When he gets up on the seat and then he takes it and he pushes it down and then he cams it down with his foot, I'm like, bro, this dude is out of his fucking mind. My fat ass cannot do that. And it's not that hard, honestly.
No. But I will say one thing, though, that I've been running the Vanish Evolution stand, and it's for a big dude, it's a pretty small stand. I said just fine on that. I'm 270 pounds, 6'4", on that Evolution stand. I feel pretty darn safe. It's nice, it's comfortable. I actually did an all day sit in it. I was happy. I have no complaints with it at all.
That's awesome.
That's really cool. I want to circle back to the sweating aspect, because this is something that maybe we could just help some newer hunters kind of figure out the best way to do things. And I want to start with Trev, because Trev looks like a sweaty dude. I mean, I sweat a lot too. I ain't no fucking Slim Jim either. So I want to start with Trev, then go to you, Wade, and then I'll kind of just fill in the gaps with my personal experience as far as sweating. What do you do, Trev, to prevent sweating? Start from the beginning, even just coming out the truck, going into the entry. Or access, rather.
I mean, a lot of the times I just wear my base layers. Like going into the tree stand and stuff, I just wear my base layers, depending on the day, kind of like what I wear into the stand. I don't always get fully dressed and go in. Another thing I do kind of to prevent the sweat and help for the sweat, I carry scent-free wipes, hunting wipes. So Dead Downwind makes a nice one, and then there's some off-brand one that they just sell at Tractor Supply that sometimes I have in the backpack. But
Scent Crusher works good too.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't. They make their own wipes.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yep.
Well, I guess I'll have to load up on those. But no, and then I get to the base of the stand, I get dressed, and then I just kind of take my time. Sometimes I will actually walk slower, depending on how cold it is. So, like, if it's really cold, I try not to sweat at all, because I know once I stop, it's lights out.
So you'd rather be cold versus starting to sweat.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, because once you start to move, you're going to warm up, but you're not going to sweat. And then you get there, you get your layers on, climb the tree, and you're good to go.
Word. Wade, what do you do, man?
All right, so basically what I'll do is my entire sun crusher bag, throw in a 30-minute charge in the morning, put it in the truck, get out to the field. I'm usually wearing gym shorts, kind of like a hobo till I get out there. Get out of my truck, get dressed. I don't, like, same thing as Trev, I don't put anything heavy on until I'm actually in the tree usually. But I try to not, exhaust myself too much. And not walk too fast. Just take it easy. I just want to sprint and get in the tree. Get there and get it up. You can get up in the tree. But usually I just pack it all in and then top, and I get dressed in the tree usually. So
that's actually I like that. I do something very, very similar. I actually don't. One thing that I don't do that I wonder if I should change tactics is I actually put on my heavy socks and don't change my socks. What I do, I put either merino wool or alpaca socks, whatever's clean at the time, or scent crushed. Yeah. And then I put body warmers because it depends on the situation of the day. But I'm talking about the coldest day ever right now. That's what I'm referring to. I'll put body warmers over the tops of my feet and kind of goes over my big toe and kind of curls over the rest of my toes, right? And then I put a fleece sock over that to keep the body warmer on. And then I put those boots on, and I just wear base layers, right? And I rock that into the stand on the coldest day. So on the way to through the access and on the way to the stand, I'm freezing my ass off. But sometimes, like I said, if I'm going to go see Fabio, for example, and I know it's at least a 2-mile walk. Sometimes, depending on the stand, as the crow flies, it'll be 2 miles, but maybe like a 3.5 mile walk. I'll actually take my time going there. If I feel myself start to sweat, because I sweat a lot, and I'll take my time and even pause a bit. Like I'll even take a moment to stop to like catch my breath even and not sweat. So this way, like you can kind of feel, when the wind slightly blows and you feel it on the back of your neck or even your face even. I mean, me, it's perfect tell. I wear glasses. If my glasses start to get a little foggy, I know it's time to stop, and take a break.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean,
go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, especially like for me, if I drink, a 12-pack of beer the night before, 18, it depends on the night, and the next morning.
What, Shabeen or Timber Pepsi?
Yeah. Timber Pepsi. I mean, Shabeen just, you're just not in my gas station when I'm leaving. If they were, maybe I'd think about it. Go that route.
I drink 12 of them.
Yeah, I feel real good then.
You wouldn't be going hunting.
Yeah, but no, it's just like I'm just gonna sweat. Like D-Rock, like you said, I'm just gonna sweat so bad in the morning that I just need to take it easy and get in. But I wish I was in shape like Cody, and that's just up to me. It's no one else can help me out there. I just need to get in shape more and not drink 12 beers the night before. I'm too jacked up to go hunting.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. So what I was getting at is like maybe I should change my tactic is just wear, basic socks on the way in, get them all sweated up and whatnot, wait till I get in the stand and then change my socks because that's very beneficial, especially for for example, an all-day sit. An all-day sit, from my experience and from what I'm saying from what I've noticed, especially last week, because that's the coldest hunt that we've been in so far this year.
-6.
Yeah. So and with wind on our face, is I think the only thing I would change is instead of gearing up and having hot feet, even though my feet didn't get too cold by the end of the sit, I would probably just wear plain Jane base layers, plain Jane socks, get in the stand, and then change up. But that's probably the best advice, This way you stay warmer longer. I actually cheat a bit, one up, and have the heated jacket. So, excuse me, once I start getting a little bit cold, I turn on the heated jacket, and then I'm good for the rest of the set.
I asked for one for Christmas. Especially after like I said, it was -6 is what they were calling for. And then it was like -10 or 12 with the wind chills.
It was crazy.
It was crazy. And we didn't go out until 9 o'clock in the morning.
That day.
Yeah. It was so cold.
That's cold, boys. It's been really cold in Iowa too, and this past week's been, I wouldn't say warmer, just seasonal, but yeah, that week of rut, that first week of November, boy, that was brutal. It was a bear out.
I can only imagine, man. And Trev was rocking the True Timber, so I'm excited to get the late season True Timber that I ordered with you, man. Is because that's going to be like, I could give it a hold no bar review on how that true.
I actually met with this girl at the ATA when I was there, and I never really had a chance to buy True Timber. I don't know if I just didn't notice it in Iowa. I just didn't see much of it anywhere. And now where it's out of South Carolina. It's obviously East Coast, so it's not here locally. And then I decided, well, I'll throw this on the online store. I really like their gear. And I put it on, and I'm like, I believe in this stuff. This stuff is good. And then I have a couple of people I trust running it a lot. Like Connor Wakefield. He's running and gunning with that stuff on all the time and really likes that stuff. And I'm like, God, this is pretty good shit. Next thing I know, Cabela starts, and they obviously were probably doing it before me, but I like to think that since we started getting into it, I think
we'll go with that. We'll go with that.
Now, Bass Bowl Cabela's, they saw what Gator was doing. They thought, fuckers.
Yeah, we'll go with that. I like
they're
that.
not getting away with that. But no, I love that. Just really that late season stuff that's coming out that they just had, and I know they're trying to get their website kind of more up to snuff and to get more product on there. Because I said, hey guys, and I don't know how it is in South Carolina right now, but it's freaking cold in Iowa. I said we need some more warmer gear, and that was the beginning of the year. This year, and they came out with a bunch of stuff, and boy, it's nice. It's quiet. It's clean. It's different. It's that Sherpa inside lining in those jackets. Super warm stuff. Very affordable. I guess I'm selling it for that now. They should probably pay me.
What is that called? The warmer stuff.
The Wolf Thorn. Is it the Wolf Thorn?
Yep.
All right.
That's actually what I ordered there.
The Wolf Thorn True Timber. We saw it on our website as well, but boy, it's a really nice coat, and it's very affordable.
I guess.
And for the East Coast, I ordered the Kanadi camo.
Is that what I read?
I think that's what you're rocking. It looks like it.
I think so. It's definitely Kanadi, but I didn't know that they had a warmer. Do they make a pants to go along with that also?
They have bibs, but the best bibs that I saw that they offered are the H2O fleece bib.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to have to put in an order because I need something warmer because I got the packable down, and I love it, and I layer it with their I can't remember the name. What is the name of their liners? The lining. Like their Under Armour.
Silvertech.
Yeah, Silvertech. So I got their Silvertech, and then their packable down. Their Zero Grav pants are actually stupid warm. I was gonna.
They are.
I couldn't believe it. Like I got them as a pair of rain pants for early season. Yeah, right. They're November pants. They cannot run those in September. They're that warm.
I throw on those Silvertech heavyweight Silvertech pants, and I throw on the lining, and then I throw on the pants you're talking about. And I'll tell you what. I sat, that all day sit was last week, and that I sat, and it was probably a high of 28 or 30 degrees, somewhere in there. I was fine all day with those pants. All day. Comfortable. Really? Didn't cut into my, ass at all, didn't, bad circulation. Dude, I think just felt comfortable. I never actually wore Sika in my life, but I can only imagine what, people would say wearing these for Sika.
I'll tell you what, is they withstanded the whole entire when we were in that -10, it was absolutely perfect. I mean, it just layered up and went to town. I mean, the packable down was great, but I think it just need one step colder for colder gear, and I think we'll just have to get into that.
See, what this is funny, Wade. I want to get into this a little bit is because, my Mexican ass is, I put my money where it's most important when it comes to hunting season because, I'm blue collar just like the rest of us. And I don't have a sugar mama like Trev that I could just go blow all my money on hunting gear. So what I decided to do is I actually use my snowmobile gear underneath like the fishnet kind of pullover type shit, which is super cheap.
You told me about that, yeah.
And I mean, it's super cheap for a reason. And it doesn't have any kind of scent control, so I have to scent crush the fuck out of my snowmobile gear. But the snowmobile gear is a bit bulky. I mean, anyone that's been snowmobiling at all knows that it's a bit bulky. But the one benefit that I have that helps me is my snowmobiling jacket is actually a heated jacket that's actually super thin and sleek. But that being said, is like I noticed the boys were making fun of me as we were gearing up because I have all these layers on, man. No lie, it's all about layers, but I mean, my Mexican ass gets cold easy. So that being said is, before I even put on my hunting pants, which is my snowmobile pants, I actually put on like 3 layers. It'll be a dry fit layer, then a thermal layer, then a fleece layer, and then my snowmobile pants. And somewhat similar to my upper body, because that's your core. So the one up on that, I have one more layer, which is a down vest, which always saves me. But that being said, what Trev was getting at is needing that one up is because these boys were kind of, poking fun, saying I look all puffy, like the kid from Christmas Story, this and that. But
Ralphie.
Ralphie. At the end of the day, when we came back to the hunting barn, guess who wasn't cold at all? My Mexican puffy ass. You know what I mean? But one thing I did notice, though, is mobility. Right? Is just like even being in the stand, because I would go into the stand, with base layers, but my base layers is like a couple layers in. Being up there in the stand, I did notice some restrictions. So I'm really intrigued with the True Timber, what it has to offer. So that's why I have a really good comparison as far as temperature and then mobility that I could give it a badass review to just really give it the truth East Coast review on an East Coast company, because East Coast is no joke. Like, I know Iowa gets cold too, Michigan as well, Wisconsin, but the New England, we're getting great late effects. Also with the Atlantic Ocean, it's just we have nor'easters. We were in a nor'easter that night.
Yep.
Shit is no joke. But yeah, I'm excited to try out the True Timber. It's gonna be dope.
Yeah, I think I'll throw in one plug in there quick as well. There's been some talk about the scent crusher bags, you throw the elastic and it's tough on stuff. The ozone, in general.
Yeah.
And now I haven't had any personal issues with that. I hear about them, you read them on the reviews, and you hear other people. Because you really want to dig deep on that stuff. It's still kind of a newer technology that we're really getting into. At the end of the day, but I've been throwing all those coats in there, the Silver Tech stuff from True Timber. There's a lot of elastic involved in that stuff because that's the most comfortable. Elastic is very comfortable. It lasts a long time. So I've been watching that scent crusher bag and seeing how it's been doing. I've been doing long, I'll do a 30-minute session and then I'll crush that bag, that stuff that's in there, and then I'll do it again that night. So it's got an hour in there already that day. And just because I've just been testing it to see how long it would last. And it's been keeping up and strong. It hasn't got, hasn't broke, it's not breaking stitches or getting stupid. And so it's good quality stuff, and it's very affordable. Not knocking down Sitka at all. I know a lot of people like Sitka because it's, it is good stuff. Don't get me wrong, but it's the fourth the price of Sitka, and it's a working class man's quality camo. That's for sure.
Amen, brother. I do have to say, True Timber is probably the best bang for your buck. Because there's a lot of affordable stuff that works out there. I'm not going to list them all, but we all know the different brands, and some different outfitters like Cabela's or Bass Pro, they carry those as well. It's just, it seems like True Timber is definitely the best quality for the price that you're paying for.
I've put it through the ringer. I mean, through briar bushes, through, and like you're saying with the scent crusher, I mean, I crush the shit out of my stuff. I mean, you would think that there's nothing even left to it.
You have a closet too, right?
I have a closet. I have a bag. So when I'm done hunting, I hit it on 30 minutes. Then in the morning when I'm getting ready, I hit it for another 30. And then it's in an Ozone Go in my car the whole entire time, and sometimes in the bag. So I mean, I'm constantly ozoning it, and to be honest with you, I haven't noticed anything to happen with it at all.
Yo, you just made me think of something.
What's that?
Scent Crusher needs a cologne.
Yeah.
They
have everything else.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
They have everything but a cologne. Or even like talcum powder. Scent Crusher talcum powder. Powder the goodies so they stay nice and dry.
One thing is that I kind of noticed it now having the car and it just got detailed, being a newer to me car, is that it's got the new car smell to it or the detailed smell to it, and I'm like, fuck, I keep running the Ozone Max Go because I'm like, come on, get the fuck out of here, we gotta go hunting. Like, I don't know.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Shit.
So I'm running the Go Max and the Go. I'm just like, all right, smash this fucking thing.
I'm telling you, the Scent Crusher.
It's becoming, I think I have now kind of like anxiety. If I don't have Scent Crusher shit at all, I'm like, dude, I can't go hunting.
I'm the same exact way, man.
It's to the point now you become so addicted in, like, all right, my truck, the vehicle, the vehicles have it, the room has it, the closet has it, the bag has it. Like, the deer are going to start wearing them. Like, it's just going to be, oh yeah, there's our Scent Crusher brother. What's up, dude?
Hell yeah, man.
Pretty soon I'll have my Scent Crusher my tree.
There you go. You know what? They're going to come up with something like that. Actually, I'm glad you bring this up because one thing, I don't know if Kurt from WCB used this or not, but before he went on his elk hunt last year? Yeah, last year. I think we were talking about him running his Scent Crusher Ozone machine on his backpack. So this way, as he's like trooping along, you bring your Scent Crusher machine like on your pack. It gives you that one up. But that's what it's bringing it back to the Scent Crusher cologne, man. They need like a dating line. So this way you have your Scent Crusher date cologne. And this way you powder your balls real quick so you'd be scent free. Like, for the ladies, shit, you might get lucky that night and you worked your ass off all day because you're blue collar. You want to powder your balls and be scent free. You never know. Shit. Yo, Wade, what are you sipping on right now? You sipping on anything?
Oh, a little Captain and Diet Coke right now.
Diet Coke? Why you go Captain to the Diet Coke?
To be honest, I love Captain a lot, but for me, just having actually regular Coke, it kind of breaks the flavor of the Captain. So the Diet's more of a bland, and I just like, I gotta have a little mixer with that. I'm not gonna drink straight rum, but there's some hardos out there, but that's not me.
You know what? That's a solid answer, man. I like that. I respect on that because you know what?
I could be a hard on too if you want me to, but I just don't need to be.
True, man. Yo, this episode's going really cool, man. It's been a long time coming. We needed you to get you back on again, and you know what? I'm telling you, man, we gotta figure something out to get. I need to give you a hug, bro. It's been this.
Well, I'll tell you what. We're bored. We just talked the other day, me and you did. The Deer Classic's coming up. That's going to be here before you even know it. It's in March. It's going to come right up.
It'd be even one up if you made a surprise appearance at the Harrisburg. That would be the shit.
When's the date for that?
I forgot, but it's February. I think I want to say it's just after Valentine's Day, maybe. What is it, Trev? Is Harrisburg right after Valentine's Day?
Yes. I think it is Valentine's Day because we got in trouble last time.
Did we?
I think so.
Oh, fuck. I might be fucked again. Shit. But it's a good time, man.
What?
Go ahead.
I'm gonna make that. I'm gonna make that show.
That'd be the shit, man. That'd be the shit.
I'm sitting here right now. I'm looking at my dates. It's in February. What is it again?
Somewhere around Valentine's Day.
You know what? I'm gonna look it up right now.
Yeah.
Look it up right now.
Trev, talk about something as I look it up.
Are they still taking people for booths out there, or how? I mean, what are they doing out there? I wouldn't mind. How far of a drive is that from here?
That's a ways.
Well, I want to say maybe from Iowa.
Cut off 6, so it's about 11 hours, maybe 12 hours.
No, I think
12
like
and a
10.
half. 12 and a half.
Is it?
Yep. Not bad at all.
That ain't nothing. Come on, pack it up.
Come on, we did a
Not bad
straight
at all.
18. We did a straight 18 to get to the Iowa Deer Classic. You can do it. or cop out and do fly-in. You know what I mean?
You definitely want to go. This is a show that you definitely don't want to miss. It's probably one of the
I
biggest.
I wouldn't mind getting a boost stuff out there and a little show, but otherwise I'll just pop in. But I think
That's
actually,
a 9-day show.
Oh,
just so
shit.
you know.
It's February 1st through 9th for 2020.
Well,
So at least we won't get in trouble with our women, but that's like right
9
after
days.
ATA, too.
I would just so you know, it's a 9-day show.
We usually go for the last weekend, though. We don't do the 9 days. Fuck
No.
that. That's just way too long.
You and you coming up to that show. So there's 5 or 6 different arena buildings. So like you're not going to want to for your first time there. You definitely don't want a booth, man. You're going to want to see the place. You're going to want to walk around. I mean, there's a whole entire arena. It's just NRA. It's all up and coming guns. It's there's a whole
you would
arena
like
building.
it. That's right up your alley.
There's a whole arena building of just archery. There's one of fishing, guides. It's everything. New products. I mean, it's like a fucking ATA on steroids.
And we'll be taking over the archery room.
As always.
Yeah. I mean, XOP will be there. Exodus, Wicked Tree Gear.
Zeus.
Yeah, Zeus. Wild Edge Inc.
Morph
Tree,
Pro.
Yeah, Morph Pro, Outright Hunting Products. Tree Stand. But all our boys. Rack Getter. And then, you get some of the bows. Hopefully Elite makes it this year. I don't see why they wouldn't. I've really been pushing on Larry and Christian to make it to Harrisburg this year because they had what's that bow?
New Breed.
Yeah, New Breed was probably the most impactful bow that was there last year. So, I mean, that being said, Elite comes down to bring down the house with the Cure and the Result. It's like everyone's going to be all over that shit. You
and
know
it's
what
not
I mean?
that far from them.
Yeah, for sure. They're out of Rochester, New York. Elite Coast, baby.
well, let's do it.
Let's do it. So this brings us to this. I know. Actually, you know what? Before we do that, why don't you do it up, Trev? All right. Wade Bormann, Gator Outdoors, Ninja Tip of the Day. What do you got for our listeners, whether it be Ninja Tip of the Day for the woods, the big timber, hunting, or even a life hack? What do you got?
I'll do the big timber woods kind of a tip of the day kind of deal. Tip of the day. You want to shoot a big buck, you got to put in more time than anybody else. That is the god awful truth. End of that. End of story.
Boom.
You want to kill a big buck, you got to put in more time than anybody else. Just like people that make a bunch of money, you got to put in more hours than anybody else, and you'll get that, baby. You'll get it all.
That's awesome, man. I mean, that's so true too. It's just crazy how everyone that's a deer hunter, I'm sure, or I won't say everyone, but most everyone, they want that big buck, right? And I'll piggyback off of that is not only do you have to put in the time, but you have to pass up some smaller ones too, It's just, that's what it's going to take is just holding back and putting in that time.
So true. Some of the best deer hunters in the world don't shoot deer every year.
Yeah.
They don't.
Yeah, you're right.
Simple as that. They know what they have and what's going to happen, and then they execute and they kill. I mean, we get Jesse Mickles on our team right now. Has passed up deer I wouldn't even think about passing up. 170, 180 inches. I'm like, what are you doing?
Oh, my God.
And he goes, dude, I've shot those kind of deer already. I'm not shooting those deer. I'm like, good for you, man. Good for you, but I'm jumping off a bridge.
Yeah.
I'm behind you.
I'm short to follow. Damn.
God,
So
I'm going to drop you from Gator team. I can't have this happen.
You know what? I wonder, then he must shop for meat in a supermarket or a local farm or something.
No. the problem is his kids are shooting booners every year now. Just throw them up to hunt, and they're getting on these big deer.
Okay.
And he just loves it more than himself. But I said, he goes, I got to shoot a bigger deer than the kids. I'm like, that's a 170-inch deer. Yep, you bet. All right, sounds good.
You know what? Is he adopting?
I said that the other day to him. Every time he posts on Gator with his kids, he goes, yep, new season's done. One night of hunting. I'm like, well, you adopting or not?
Yeah.
I always tell him I like to have a good-looking mom, too, huh?
Naughty. Actually, since we're speaking of that, you mind disclosing a little bit more personally about yourself? Just to give the listener a really good idea, because we're here, we're relaxed, we're laid back, we're cussing, we're sipping. Just let us a little, the deets and the inside scoop about Wade Bormann, who you really are.
Yeah. Nope. I went to I graduated high school in 2008, small town called Preston, Iowa, and graduated, I believe, with 16 people in my class, 16, 17, somewhere in there. I think that's the right number. Ended up going to school, actually, environmental science major. Was going to actually be a federal game warden, and Dad's in the insurance business, and kind of led me that direction after school, and really took off from there. And that's where I actually been able to afford to start this company, Gator Outdoors. Otherwise, it'd be very difficult not to do that. And I'm actually engaged to Macy. And we're actually, our wedding will be next September, 2020. And no kids yet. We got a couple of labs. I got coon dogs still. I'm still going to get out there and coon hunt yet at night and trap as much as I can. But yeah, I'm very lucky to be in Jackson County, Iowa. Big deer, lots of things to do. Right next to Mississippi River. Homegrown, home raised. Meat and potatoes kind of guy.
Dope, really dope. You know what? I can't wait to see you tie the knot, man. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a really good time.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I'm excited for it.
Hell yeah. So you made it to our closing segment, man. Wade Bormann, Gator Outdoors. What rattles your antlers? And you already said earlier in the episode, bashing, so you can't use that one. What rattles your antlers?
That still rattles my antlers, ruffles my feathers, pisses me off. Dude, that still is the main thing that really grinds my gears is people that bash other people for hunting. And, hunting is not that typical, not that caliber of deer, not the caliber or whatever they shot. That still does piss me off more than anything. I'll be honest.
Well, that's all we want is the honesty here, man.
Oh, no, but another one that ruffles my feathers too is, oh boy, there's so many things right now.
For a big dude like you,
what rattles your guys' ear? What pisses you guys off?
What pisses me off is Trev goofing off and fiddling with his grunt call, the little rubber piece. Kind of doesn't look good the way he plays with it. But what ruffles my feathers is you saying that instead of what rattles your antlers. Trev playing on his phone during a podcast. Let's see. Ryan being suspended because Shabin is a strong fucking beer. Let's see. What else rattles my antlers? Not being able to fucking give you a hug, and we've been working together for I don't know how long.
He asked for one, dude.
Just one hug.
Yeah.
My God.
I won't, dude. I'm going to give you lots of them.
I won't drop my hand down to your ass, I promise.
Yep, and I think, too, I was just thinking about what rattles my antlers as well, from my standpoint, is people that don't believe in you.
Yeah,
now, and like I say here is, I'm trying to do so many things, and to have someone that says, now, let's put it this way, too. I love those people as well because that makes you work harder, and prove a point. So I think that, for one, people say, trying to start this, the business and the company that we've started, I've had big, time people say it's not going to work out. Well, I'm going to prove you wrong. And I don't care how long it takes, but I'm going to make sure that you're behind me, and I'm going running straight forward right across the finish line.
Amen.
Amen, brother.
I'm gonna go with my Rattles, my Antlers. I'm gonna kind of piggyback off what you're saying and starting a small business and doing it. Something that's kind of like really been pissing me the fuck off lately is that everybody now it's deer season,
like golden shower piss off or
no.
Oh.
So everybody, obviously it's Euro season and everyone's bringing me Euro mounts and everybody wants a fucking discount, right? And they want, oh well, what can you give me for a discount? Well, bro, listen, I'm in.
Dude, where's my free shit? Yeah. I
Yeah,
get that a lot.
exactly. Yeah, and so for example, I had one dude. He's like, "Well, you gave me a discount last year." I said, "Yeah, because I was kind of whoring myself around to get business. Like, what do you fucking want?" Well, now I have too much business, and I don't mind giving discount to the guy that brings me 5-6 heads or whatever, But somebody who fucking brings
Is
you
that
one
why
head
you
a
hooked me
year, and he goes, I don't really have that much money right now. You mind, like, if I trade you something? I'll trade you, like, some copper wire or a metal detector. And I'm like, why don't you sell the fucking metal detector or the copper wire and then fucking pay for your euro? Like, how am I going to make money, man? I'm here to make money and support my household, man. I can't be fucking giving shit away for free. So I get it, and you probably deal with it way worse than I do. But it really just rattles my antlers.
Shit.
I know it is. I get messages all the time, dude. Hey, I want to be on pro staff. I want some free shit. I was like, well, I said, so do I.
You know what? We might have a little something for you, Wade. We have a little something for you, actually. I think Trev can agree. You know what? It's weird because what you just talked about and what Trev just talked about, I have a weird feeling you guys are talking about me for some reason. Because I have a basement full of copper wire and
that's who rattles my antlers. That son of a bitch.
Fucking D-Rock. Yep. Always looking for free shit. Oh man, this has been fucking awesome, man. This has been really cool.
Yeah, it's been fun.
You know what, Wade? You're more than welcome. Always welcome in our household, in any of our studios. You come out to the East Coast, you have a place to stay. Don't get a hotel room. We're semi-clean people. We'll make sure your room is clean at least. But no. On a serious note, though, you're a brother in arms. You've helped out the podcast a lot. We try to do the same in return, and we believe in you, man. And that's why we are partnered with Gator Outdoors, man, for sure.
I appreciate that 100%. It means a lot to me, guys.
That's some positive shit. We don't even need a round of positivity.
Well, is there anything you want to close us out on or something you want to touch base on before we just wrap it up?
I do want to touch base on just a reminder of our winner that we'll be in contact with you very soon. And on top of the ECB10, jump on the website, get a discount, that free shipping over $100. Might as well take the advantage.
Fuck
yeah.
Jump on, follow us on Gator Outdoors on our Instagram and our Facebook, and we're doing the Kill Club right now. You got a lot of fun pictures of you guys and everybody else killing shit. We got to buy the hat though to be in the Kill Club. Anybody can be on our social media if they buy the hat and kill something.
Hell yeah! How much are those hats, Wade?
$20.
$20. Everyone's got $20.
What's a $20 bill?
Nowadays, it's not much.
Hey, you got to remember though, you get an ECB 10% off. Use it up.
Hell yeah!
So then so it's $18.
That's a ninja tip right there.
That's awesome.
If you buy 5 hats, you get free shipping.
Hell yeah!
Whoa.
Hell yeah! So round of positivity, Trev. What do you got?
Round of positivity. Just a great team, a great deer season. I'm just absolutely jacked up. Everybody's knocked down just an absolute slob this year. It's been a full-fledged great year. The second cycle of rut is about to happen, and we're right in the fucking middle of it.
Hell yeah. What I bring round of positivity to the table is I want to hit up the property you and I always hunt, but this time I really want to not even self-film, but film you and potentially...
But that deer's dead.
No, there's more. There's more. Trust me, there's more.
I know.
I want to potentially double up, and that would make an epic hunt. And round of positivity is you, Wade. You're the only sponsor of the show that we truly believe in with all our hearts that we have not even fondled yet, which I find amazing because there's something there, man. And this is not all bullshit aside. Stop playing with that fucking black dildo. All bullshit aside, man, there's something there, man. If our relationship has been based off of business and trust right off the rip before even meeting each other, I know we're going to grow old together and still be on the same page. So that's my round of positivity. Wade Bormann, Gator Outdoors. What do you got?
Thank you, boys, so much. 100%. And I'm going to tell you right now, faith, family, and God is all you need in life. Sure, the money, big bucks are nice, don't get me wrong. Faith, family, God, hell, your health even. My grandpa right now, he's struggling with cancer. It's tough. It's not looking very good at all. And you get that physical, get that checkup once a year, make sure you're good to go, and you don't have your health, you ain't got shit. And, if you're on God, you don't have shit. And, you need your family, you need your support. And coming back full circle, with our family here, between me, you guys, and us, and, man, without you guys, we just, we wouldn't have what we have. And, and I'm going to get emotional here, but, boy, it sure feels good to have, friends around you, the family that we have, be able to hunt, be successful this year, have our health, and at the end of the day, still come home and eat a pack of deer loins and chug some beers. It feels good.
Amen. And on that note, stay stepping.
What else do you want? Come on.
Straight up. On that note, stay stepping.
And stay slaying.
Podcast go straight to hell. Yeah. Speaking of hell, check out East Coast Bowhunting Podcast.
We keep it real on the East Coast. First of all, I'm addicted to the show.
I like that. That's cool.
Full hunt, you live it, you breathe it. It's a whole different world.
Just East Coast has a little bit more of an edge and a grind.
It's a fantastic thing.
You guys are fucking awesome.
Well, number one is you guys like beer. I want to feel like I'm hanging with the boys.
You're just guys who showed up.
But I actually saw Jesus.
The point where it is now where it's insane.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
I just want to get the realest people possible in the industry. If you're not pissing people off, you're not doing it right.
Nothing forced, all fucking natural.